Hello, welcome to AnAuraChicBeauty channel. For today's makeup tutorial, I'm doing a rose themed look for the eyes, cheeks, and lips. For the eyes, I did a glittery pale pink on the lid with a muted rosy color in the crease, something soft. But for the lower lash line, I did a kind of dark smoky burgundy color to kind of give it more of a dramatic effect. Then for the cheeks, I did a kind of natural rosy flush color, a little bit highlighted, a little bit of a glowy finish to the skin. And then for the lips, I did a much brighter rosy pink color. It's kind of a reddish rosy pink, and I think it's really pretty. And in this video kind of continues my Japan series. Some of the products I'm using I bought during my Japan trip, but all of the products are actually Japanese brands. And so let's just get started on the tutorial. I already applied my moisturizer and eye cream. I use the same products that I did in my last tutorial, but for my primer, I am using something different. This is by Banila, and this is actually a Korean brand, but I bought it during my Japan trip, and this is the classic prime primer, so it's the original formula. They make a few other primers that are for different skin types, but this one is a silicone primer, and normally I don't really like silicone primers because they feel kind of heavy or a little greasy, or they kind of ball up on my skin. But this one is very silky and smooth, and it's just very lightweight, and just one pump is enough for the whole face. You can use a brush or your fingers to apply it. I used my fingers today and just kind of rubbed it all over, and yeah, it's a really nice primer, so I used that today. I already applied my foundation, concealer, and setting powder, but I'm going to show you the products. For my foundation, today I use M.A.C Select Cover Up. This is actually a concealer, but I really like it as a foundation because it gives medium buildable coverage, but it feels lightweight. And I mixed the two colors because neither one was like a perfect match for my as a foundation. So I use NC20, which is a little bit too light, and then NW25, which is a little bit too dark and too pink. And so I just mixed it on the back of my hand with a Trish McEvoy blush highlighting brush. It's a fluffy brush that I stipple it on all over. My under eye concealer, I actually didn't use any products because the Select Cover Up cover them pretty well, but for a spot concealing, I use Kevyn Sensual Skin Enhancer in the shade SX07. This is actually a foundation and concealer in one, but the reason why I didn't use it all over foundation is because it's quite heavy and it's very pigmented, so I just like using it on the areas that I need extra coverage. And so for like blemishes and things like that, I use my M.A.C 231 brush and just dot it on where I needed it and patted it with my finger. Then to set everything, I wanted my skin to have a subtle glow. So today I use Suqqu Nuancing Loose Powder in the Glow formula, and I use the Suqqu face brush to apply it, and I just dusted a light layer all over my face. But I also apply a little bit extra on the cheekbone area, just to act as a highlighter because I'm not going to use any other highlighting product. And I applied it kind of starting from the inner corner, a little bit on my cheek, right under the eye area, and then just blended it out onto the cheekbone. Now for the brows, today I used Smashbox Brow Tech in the color dark brown, and I actually bought this during my Japan trip. I bought it because I thought it'd be great for travel because it comes with two brow powders in two different colors and a brow wax, and you can either use the colors individually or mix them together. And I like these colors because the browns aren't like a reddish tone brown, is a bit more cooler tone, more neutral. And so I'm using my Shuemura 6LB brush, and I mix the two colors together, and I'm just going to define my brows starting from the arch and working my way down to the tail of the brow. And I'm turning the brush vertically to blend in the inner corner of the brow. I don't want it to be too dark, otherwise it'll be kind of too strong of a brow. I want it to be defined but not too dark. Then to set the brows, I just take my brow brush and lightly scrape the wax, just like that, so it's kind of light coating of it. And then I'm just going to put a light layer of it onto the brows. just so that they lay flat and keep them in place. Now for the eyes, I'm going to start with MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and I'm using this as a base because it has a pinky beige color, and so it'll bring out the pink tones that I'll be using, for my eyeshadow. But of course you can use any base that you want, and I'm using a MAC 252 brush, and I'm just going to apply a light layer all over from the lash line up to the brow. Now for the eyeshadow, I'm first going to use MAC Sculpt Sculpting Powder. This is a contouring powder, and it's only available at Pro stores, I believe. But you could use MAC eyeshadow in Wedge or just any matte light taupe color like this. And I'm using a MAC 224 brush, and I'm going to just sweep that in the crease to create definition. Then I'm going to take that same color and sweep that on the lower lash line, connecting it at the outer corner. If you're a darker skin tone, then you obviously might want to use a darker kind of taupe color like this, something a little bit more deeper. Now the eye makeup isn't overly contoured, it's actually quite softly blended in the crease. So I'm going to start off with my lid color so that when I apply my crease colors, it's blended in well. And so for the lid, I'm using Jill Stuart Jelly Eye Color N. It's a really unique cream gel eyeshadow because it's not like other cream shadows that are out there. It has a kind of wet jelly mousse like texture. It's kind of squishy, and it's kind of weird to describe it, but it's really neat texture, and it's obviously very shimmery. This one is number 3 in Platinum Satin. It's a kind of pale shimmery pink, and you can use your fingers if you want like a sheer application. You can apply it over a matte shadow for a little bit of sparkle, but for this look I want it to be really shimmery, so I'm going to use a cream eyeshadow brush. This is by Sephora. It's number 25, and I'm just going to dip it in there. Just get a little bit pot up like that, and I'm just going to apply that all over the lid using like a patting motion. The more you blend it, the more the sparkles and the glitter kind of migrate all over the eye. So I try to just pat it on the color to build up the coverage and the pigment, and then I'll blend the edges to soften it. So I just use the tip of the brush, kind of working it back and forth and stopping it at the crease. I'm also going to apply it to the inner corner as a highlight. Then for the crease, I'm going to use this MAC eyeshadow. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. It's maybe Haux or Haux, but I'll put the name of it in the information box. And it's a muted kind of rosy color, and it has a satin finish, but it pretty much looks matte on the eyes. And I'm using a MAC 217 brush, and I'm just going to blend that in the crease and also on the lid on the outer corner. I'm also going to take that color on the lower lash line on the outer 2/3 of the eye, connecting at the outer corner. Next, I'm going to do my liner, and today I'm using Milani Infinite Liquid Liner in number 5 Everlast. It's just a basic black, and I'm using my MAC 211 brush. It's just a skinny pencil brush. I'm going to take the product onto the brush, and then I'm going to put this on the top waterline and into the roots of the lashes to create a thicker lash base. I'm also going to smudge this on the top lash line. Then I'm going to apply it to the lower lash line as well, but not on the bottom waterline. And I'm going to apply it more thicker on the outer corner of the eye, about 2/3, and then kind of thin it towards the inner corner of the eye. And make sure to connect it at the outer corner. Then for the lower lash line, I'm going to use MAC Sketch Eyeshadow. This quad was a limited edition palette. I'm not sure which collection, but it says Thunder Eyes. But Sketch is a permanent color. It's a kind of burgundy shade, really pretty. It has again a satin finish, a little bit of sparkle, but it looks pretty matte on the eyes. And I'm using a Trish McEvoy, I think number 41 smudge brush, and I'm just going to pat that right on top of the black liner just to soften that black. And I'm going to lightly smudge it. It's going to soften and create a subtle smoky liner. Then for the waterline, I'm going to use Pixie Eye Bright Liner just to open up the eye a little bit. Then I'm going to highlight the brow bone using MAC Vapour Eyeshadow. It's a pale whitish pinky peach color and has a little bit of sparkle to it. You can barely see it, but I'm going to use MAC 239 brush and just pat that right under the brow, on the brow bone. I don't want too frosty or shimmery of a highlight since the lid color is so shimmery. I'm also going to take that color and highlight the inner corner just to brighten it up a little bit more. Another tip that I want to share with you regarding the Jill Stuart eyeshadow is that the glitter and shimmer kind of transfers onto the lashes, even the fake ones. And so what I do to kind of take away that glitter is I actually use black liquid liner and paint it across. Just use the brush or applicator and just paint it all over, and it'll look good as new. If you don't wear false lashes but you still have glitter on your real lashes, then what you can do is just use your black mascara and coat the top layer, and it should take away some of that glitter. And so now I'm going to curl my lashes, apply mascara, and apply my false lashes off camera, and then I'll move on to cheeks and lips. Now for the cheeks, I'm first going to contour using the same MAC Sculpting powder with my MAC 168 brush. It's an angled cheek brush. I'm going to apply that under the cheekbone, blending it downwards a little bit, and then buffing it into blend. Then for the cheek color, I'm going to use TheBalm Cabana Boy Blush, and you can actually use this as an eyeshadow. It's very pigmented and it's a kind of rosy color. It has like a satin sheen to it. It almost looks matte on the skin, and because it's very pigmented, you want to use a light hand with it and just a very small amount. And I'm going to use my Suqqu cheek brush and just apply it towards the back of the cheek and blend it onto the apples. I didn't want to apply it directly onto the apples of the cheek because I didn't want, like a doll look. I want it to be a little bit more, I guess, natural and, not too rosy. So applying it almost where the contouring powder is, a little bit above it, and then blending it onto the cheekbone as well. Now for the lips, I'm first going to outline and fill them in using MAC Beat Lip Pencil. It's a bright reddish pink. Then on top of the Beat Lip Pencil, I'm going to use Topshop lipstick in Rosa. And as you can see, it's not like a typical lipstick. It's in a kind of jumbo lip pencil form. And I bought this in Japan, and obviously it's not a Japanese brand, but they had a store there, and I didn't know that they had a makeup line. But when I checked YouTube, there's actually a lot of videos giving reviews on the makeup, and so when I bought it, I just bought a few things, and hopefully, just thought hopefully I like the products. And I really love these lipstick pencil things. I become kind of obsessed with them, and other brands are coming out with this type of lipstick. Either some are a little bit more sheer, like the Clinique ones, or NARS, they have the gloss and matte formulas. So I like these because they have color and gloss, and you can a little shine, and you can define your lips all in one. It makes it really easy, and these are really pigmented, and they just go on really smoothly. And so I'm just going to apply it more on the center of the lip and not all the way out. I kind of want to leave the beat lip pencil showing to kind of deepen and define the lips. And so I'm going to put this on. And if you need to, you can use your fingers or lip brush to blend it out. And that's it for the look. I hope you guys like it. If you want to see pictures and swatches of some of the products that I use, you can check out my blog. It's AnAuraChicBeauty.blogspot.com. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.